What's up, fellow gamblers? Welcome back to Straight Betting. And as you can see, I switched things up a little bit. So I'm like literally in a very small walk-in closet right now. But I do think this actually looks pretty good. I don't know. Let me know down below if you guys like it. I think it looks somewhat clean, but we'll try to improve it day by day. So we did not do any content yesterday. Liam was supposed to stream, but he spilled coffee on his laptop. But yeah, I didn't do any videos, any streams, because honestly, I was looking back at the content and I mentioned this in the prior video, but I just wasn't a fan of the quality. So I just wanted to give myself a day to really just get this stuff right, get this stuff looking good. Like I said, I think it's looking okay. I don't know for sure, but I think it's all right. One last thing, guys, I will be live 5:30 p.m. Eastern time tonight. It's Sundays, so games are all over the place, and I just wanted to make sure it was at a good time where, I can give you guys valuable, pre-tip off reacting to injury news and stuff like that. All right, today I got two plays. They're both from the OKC Clippers game. I'm about to give them right here, but before I do so, make sure to just drop a like and sub if you enjoy this type of content. First play, going with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 43.5 PRA. And guys, this might be a little bit different because I feel like I never really bet on stars overs. First thing, guys, let's go to the head-to-head history versus the Clippers. So he's averaging 44.7 PRA in these games. This first one right here, Shai only played 31 minutes, so I'm assuming he didn't touch the floor in the fourth. Played 39 here, dropped 57 PRA, and then another game with 30 minutes where he did not touch the floor in the fourth. So yeah, guys, averaging 44.7 PRA, and that's only on 33.3 minutes against the Clippers so far this year. And another big thing, guys, is that Jalen Williams is still out, and Jalen Williams played in all three of these games. And guys, this might sound fake, but if you can see this little chart right here, Shai is averaging 50.94 PRA per 34 minutes with J-Dub off the court. And then in games without J-Dub per 34 minutes, he's averaging 48.6 PRA per 34 minutes. And the thing is, guys, if this game is close, there's only a 3-point spread on this. If the game is very close, Shai will play 36 to 38 minutes. But obviously, guys, I'm just projecting him at 34 just to factor in, like, obviously there's blowout risk in every single game. So you got to factor it in a little bit. But this really is a good spot for this game to remain hyper competitive. So yeah, guys, don't really expect any really tough coverage on Shai here. I mean, Clippers have been allowing a ton of pull-ups recently. You got Zubac in there. He just can't really move that well. It's tough to really blitz super aggressively with Zubac, and it's tough to be, like, effective with the blitzes with him. So yeah, I think that's why Shai's found some pretty good success against the Clippers this year, along with Ty Lue, maybe just trusting his guys to defend one-on-one. He does have some pretty good individual defenders to play with. But yeah, guys, for the most part, this is really just a minutes-based bet. OKC, they've played a ton of shitty teams recently. I think that might be driving it down where Shai just doesn't have to play a lot. But I think that the Clippers, they've really been rolling. They've beat the Cavs recently. They beat Memphis recently. They're just on a tear. So I actually really do expect this game to be close. Like I said, the spread would indicate that at just being a 3-point spread. And if we get 34 to 38 minutes of Shai without J-Dub, he should honestly easily clear this line. All right, fellas, staying in the same game, attacking another OKC over. I really feel like the market's low on the OKC guys today for whatever reason, but I'm going with Chet Holmgren over 7.5 rebounds. So this is a big thing with Chet here. He's been hurt for a lot of the year, and OKC has obviously just been involved in so many blowouts. So in games with Isaiah Hartenstein, like I said, he was coming back from injury and stuff and, on a minute restriction. He's only averaging 28 or 27.8 minutes per game, but he is averaging 8.2 rebounds per game. And if you look at some of these recent games that were close and competitive, this Boston Celtics game played 34 minutes. This Bucks game played 35 minutes. And of course, why would he play he played 28 minutes. They won by 35 against the Hornets. So yeah, like I said, if this game is close, which it really should be, we probably should get around 34 minutes for Chet here. And when you just do a little bit of simple math, per 32 minutes this year, he is averaging 9.4 rebounds in games with Isaiah Hartenstein. Like I said, per 32 minutes, I got to 32 because I think he plays 34 or 35 if this game remains hyper competitive. But just factoring in a little bit of blowout risk, because you got to do that with overs and stuff, get him to 32 minutes. He's at, like I said, 9.4 rebounds per game with Isaiah Hartenstein. And if you're like, oh, this game is for sure staying close, like Chet's going to play full minutes. Okay, well, cool. I hope that happens, but per 34 minutes in games with Isaiah Hartenstein, he's averaging 10 rebounds. And guys, we're just talking about a 7.5 line for Chet, right? For the matchup, I will say the Clippers are a pretty good rebounding team, but what makes sense, right, is to have Isaiah Hartenstein play all the Zubac minutes just because he's very physical, very strong. He matches up great with Zubac. If that happens, we'll get Chet running against like the Ben Simmons-led second unit, where he'll guard Ben Simmons, who literally just sits under the basket. We know he's not stretching the floor. We know he's not really looking to shoot. So he's not like really guarding anyone. He's just under the basket in perfect rebound position. And also Like he could crash the offensive glass too, because I mean that's a very small unit. And then even in the Zubac minutes, right? What also makes sense is to put Chet, because he's such a great rim protector, such a good off-ball rim protector, especially. Just have him guard like a Chris Dunn, a Derek Jones who can shoot, but teams view as a non-shooter, and just have him roam off them. Put Lou Dort, who's strong as hell, on Kawhi. And I think that Chet, if he's just roaming, like I said, he can do that when teams play non-shooters, and the Clippers definitely do that. So I think that might be how he's deployed on defense as well, which would definitely be good for rebounding, right? If you're just off-ball roaming, I mean, that's very, very good for rebounding. Yeah, fellas, not gonna lie, I might be absolutely cooked if this game ends up getting out of hand. Like, if it gets really ugly, I might be cooked today. However, I think that the market is just very, very low on these Thunder players. I think that they're not realizing that, they played like the tanking Sixers, the tanking Hornets recently. And I think that this is a game where, Mark Daigneault, he wants to experiment with stuff. There's not many competitive games for OKC left. So I think that they're going to go all in here. Shea still needs to make an MVP case, even though that shit's pretty much locked up. But yeah, I think that the market is just overall very, very low on Thunder players' minutes. All right, fellas, well, hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, drop a like and sub if you enjoy this type of content. Be doing this pretty much every single day. Of course, we are going to be live, or I'm going to be live at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time to break down some games for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's win some bets today. Let's make some money, all that good stuff.